information officer information
affirmative.
With
Yes. Officer.
An officer.
Information.
Officer and
Information.
Wrote a short report. Information.
Officer. Information. Officer. Officer.